Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the different pathways here on the Bitcoin chart. The market has stabilized a little bit. The altcoins, to be honest, some of them could already have bottomed. Here on the Bitcoin chart, I don't have any evidence that there is a substantial low in place, but I also have to say that it is starting to stabilize, hasn't broken above the trend line yet, however, and hasn't broken above the micro resistance. So we want to take a look at Bitcoin dominance in this video as well. And before I forget about that, we should do that first, because sometimes I'm talking about the chart and then tell you we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and then I completely forget about it. And then the video is over and Okay, so Bitcoin dominance has moved up into the resistance area as predicted. No, joking. It was not a prediction, but I highlighted that obviously it would be likely that the market recovers a little bit, reaches the resistance area, and then we indeed seem to see a rejection at the moment, at least. Yeah, quite a sharp rejection from the area between the 60, or actually from the 61.8 retracement level. That is one of the key retracement. It's quite confusing to have percent and percent here, because one of them is Bitcoin dominance, the other one is the fib retracement. But yeah, I mean, here at the 61.8 retracement of the decline, so it might very well be that we're setting up for the next decline in the altcoin sector. Well, that means Bitcoin dominance wise, that means it could actually be positive for the altcoins. That would fit quite well what we see on the individual altcoin charts. For example, ADA is starting to break above initial resistance. VeChain maybe, some others maybe. I haven't really looked at too many charts since I've gone through them all today, so haven't done a second round. But I know that some of them have started to break or try to break their resistances, which would be very much in line with Bitcoin dominance potentially setting up for lower. Bear in mind, as I always say, Bitcoin dominance isn't really suitable for Elliott Wave. I'm just giving you my ideas, it's sort of a little bit for fun, not exactly for fun, but we have to understand this is more to understand some tendencies, yeah? Now, if you take a look at this, we can identify here something maybe that looks a bit like a wedge pattern or a channel, where the price could then break out to the downside for continuation to the downside after it possibly started that decline in November. So that's interesting, definitely something to watch for over the coming week, I would say. And let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin, I need to go to the correct chart. Yeah, Bitcoin has started a decline, which might get a few more downside squiggles, I have to say, right? But I think to keep it very simple, assumption is we are in some kind of a wave 4. Yeah, we're in some kind of a wave 4. The question is it circle wave 4 here? Then circle wave 3 probably actually topped here or here. And then we could be dealing with something like an A, B, C structure, and the low is in and we go higher. Or is indeed the larger third wave, has it topped up there on around the 17th of December, and we're moving down in a larger A, B, C structure. What I want to say specifically is that, first of all, I see this as a correction in an overall uptrend. I don't see it as a bear market yet. Some people have suggested that, we might already head into a bear market. And while I definitely say that's possible, it's also not improbable. I would not want to make such claims or calls without further evidence, because it's quite far reaching. I don't assume that this is the case yet. I see it as a corrective pullback. The main question is, as always, how deep is the pullback going to be that the market is offering? And I can tell you that, it might just need one more low, but then we have possibly already enough in terms of an ABC structure complete. Well, then we just need to see, can the market recover impulsively? If not, it's likely going to be a BC pattern, so larger ABC, all right? Which is why I'm showing you here the pathways. To keep it very simple, as long as we are below the trend line, I can zoom in a bit. As long as we are below, and just need to shift that. I just put that there for just to show it. I'll come up with something better. But it could be the decline is down at the moment locally, right? And we're below the trend line. We are even below Fibonacci resistance. So the very first step to indicate that some kind of a low is in place, first step would be a break above the trend line and 98,613. That's first resistance. And only then we can consider, okay, is it a B wave? Because the A wave might have bottomed here already. A waves sometimes are 3-wave movements, sometimes 5. So I'm quite neutral if we get another low or not. Some coins might not need another low. And then if we go a bit higher, the question is it a B wave, or are we already going to new highs? Because the next push higher can send us to 130K, which is my overall target. If that, you know about that if you are following my videos about the daily chart as well. So I think the main focus on the weekend needs to be on this micro resistance area. If we get a break above it, then I can provide resistance for the B wave, and we will need to see a little bit more of the structure to determine, is it a B wave, or are we already in the 5th wave? So I'd like to see actually a little bit more downside, maybe just one more low. It's not needed in wave 4. So I'm just focusing here on resistance. And as long as we stay below it, we can consider one more low. But I mentioned it in one of the previous updates already on Discord that we're getting into the region where, starting to add some positions across the sector might make sense. Now, that's not specific financial advice. I'm telling you what's generally reasonable. It will depend on the chart and so on. But we are now getting, as I mentioned in yesterday's updates, we were oversold across various time frames. And we could be, even if we get another low or not, we could be close to a bit of a larger recovery, a bounce, even if it's just a B wave. So yeah, definitely interesting development. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.